Welcome to our journey through the divine thread of fashion history. I am Owl the Storyteller, and I will guide you through the mystical and historical influences of religion on fashion. Throughout history, religion and fashion have been inextricably intertwined. Religious beliefs have shaped not only our values and morals, but also the very clothes we wear. From the earliest civilizations to the modern day, faith has dictated hemlines, influenced silhouettes, and determined the social acceptability of garments. This essay will explore the fascinating relationship between religion and fashion, delving into the late medieval period and the Gothic era to uncover how religious beliefs shaped attire and continue to influence fashion today. The late medieval period, spanning the 14th and 15th centuries, was a time of significant upheaval and change in Europe. The Black Death, the 100 Years' War, and the rise of new economic powers challenged traditional social structures and brought about a new era of cultural and artistic expression. Religion, however, remained a central force in society, influencing every aspect of life, including fashion. The late medieval period saw a dramatic shift in fashion, moving away from the simple flowing lines of the earlier Romanesque period toward more elaborate and structured garments. This change was partly due to advancements in tailoring techniques, but it also reflected the growing influence of the Gothic style, which emphasized verticality, ornamentation, and a heightened sense of drama. The Gothic style, which originated in 12th century France, had a profound impact on architecture, art, and fashion. Characterized by soaring arches, pointed spires, and intricate tracery, Gothic architecture inspired a new aesthetic that celebrated height, light, and grandeur. This aesthetic translated into fashion, with garments becoming increasingly elaborate, structured, and adorned. The influence of Gothic architecture on fashion was evident in the long flowing lines, pointed sleeves, and intricate embellishments that characterized the clothing of the elite. Just as Gothic cathedrals reached for the heavens, so too did the fashionable attire of the day aspire to elevate the wearer. The emphasis on verticality was particularly pronounced in women's fashion, with high headdresses and long trailing gowns, creating an elongated silhouette that exuded elegance and sophistication. The Gothic era also witnessed the emergence of new fabrics and tailoring techniques that allowed for greater creativity and extravagance in dress. Sumptuous silks, luxurious velvets, and intricately woven brocades became highly sought-after materials reserved for the nobility and wealthy merchant classes. These rich fabrics, often imported from the East, added to the opulence and grandeur of Gothic fashion. The use of luxurious textiles was not merely a matter of aesthetics, it was also a powerful symbol of status and wealth. The ability to afford expensive fabrics and elaborate garments was a visible sign of one's social standing, and sumptuary laws were often enacted to regulate what different classes could wear. These laws aimed to maintain social order by ensuring that clothing reflected one's place in the hierarchy. One of the most iconic garments of the late medieval period was the houppelande, a long, flowing robe worn by both men and women. The houppelande, with its origins in the simple tunics of earlier centuries, evolved over time into a highly stylized and elaborate garment. Characterized by its high waist, long flowing sleeves, and often extravagant decoration, the houppelande exemplified the Gothic aesthetic of elegance and extravagance. Section 5. The Rise of the Houppelande. A garment for both sexes. The houppelande's versatility made it a popular choice for both sexes, although there were distinct differences in the way it was worn by men and women. Men typically wore their houppelans shorter, often reaching to the knee or calf, while women's houppelans flowed to the ground, sometimes even trailing behind them in a dramatic display of opulence. The houppelans' long sleeves, often reaching to the floor, were another distinctive feature of this iconic garment. While the houppelander served as a unisex garment, men's and women's fashion in the late medieval period diverged in other significant ways. Men's attire continued to be more practical and functional, reflecting their roles as warriors, merchants, and labourers. The basic components of men's clothing consisted of a tunic, hose, and a variety of outerwear garments, depending on the weather and occasion. Section 6. Men's fashion. From tunic and hose to doublet and hose. Over time, the simple tunic evolved into the doublet, a close-fitting jacket that became a staple of men's fashion throughout the Renaissance. Hose, which had once been loose-fitting garments covering the entire leg, gradually became more tailored, eventually evolving into the tight-fitting breeches and stockings that would characterize men's fashion in the centuries to come. Women's fashion, in contrast to men's, placed a greater emphasis on display and ornamentation. While practicality was still a consideration, women's clothing was also intended to enhance their beauty and signal their social standing. The high-waisted gowns that were fashionable during this period emphasized the female form, while long trains, often made from luxurious fabrics, added an air of regality and sophistication. Section 7. Women's fashion, high waists, long trains, and the power of the Hennin. One of the most striking aspects of women's fashion in the late medieval period was the rise of elaborate headdresses. The Hennin, a tall, conical hat, became a symbol of status and fashionability. Made from a variety of materials, including felt, straw, and wire, Hennins were often adorned with feathers, jewels, and other embellishments. Beyond the cut and style of garments, religious beliefs also influenced the use of symbolism and colour in fashion. Veils, for example, were commonly worn by women as a sign of modesty and piety. The colour of clothing also carried religious significance. Section 8. Religious symbolism in fashion veils, rosaries, and the power of colour. Blue, associated with the Virgin Mary, was considered a virtuous and pure colour, while red, the colour of Christ's blood, could symbolize both sacrifice and power. Religious accessories, such as rosaries and crosses, were also incorporated into clothing and jewellery, serving as both decorative and devotional objects. The influence of religion on fashion during the late medieval period and the Gothic era was profound and far-reaching. From the soaring heights of Gothic cathedrals to the intricate details of a Hennin, religious beliefs shaped the aesthetic sensibilities of the time and influenced the cut, style, and decoration of garments. Section 9. Conclusion. An enduring legacy. Religious influences echo through fashion history. The use of luxurious fabrics, elaborate ornamentation, and religious symbolism in fashion reflected not only the wealth and status of the wearer, but also the prevailing religious ideals of the era. While fashion has certainly evolved over the centuries, the legacy of this period can still be seen in the continuing influence of religious symbolism, the enduring appeal of luxurious textiles, and the enduring power of clothing to express our beliefs, values, and aspirations.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content like this. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating quality videos. Thank you for watching and being a part of our community. Remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest uploads. Your support keeps us going.